begins now.
Good morning.
Where my bus at? Where my bus at? I love that bop. It's so good.
I told Rick this morning, because yesterday I was limping around because I was sparring with one of my kickboxing trainers the other day, and I took a kick right in the thigh. So I had a limp going yesterday. My limp's gone, but for some reason, Kelly Quinn, I fell asleep last night with my arm across my body laying on my arm/shoulder. So, like, I literally had my arm pinned diagonally across my body. And I have the weakest arm possible this morning. Like, I cannot get my right arm.
Which further proves my point that you are the oldest young person I've ever met in my life.
Right?
You just had a birthday.
Right? I know.
Well, that's all right. I'm sure you'll limp along today.
I did. I woke up this morning and I'm like, I always do the system check when I get up. And I'm like, oh, check engine lights on here. That's for sure.
Beep, beep, beep. Back up.
I did do something creepy this morning. It wasn't meant to be creepy. And this is going to come.
Something you're going to share with the rest of us?
I am going to share it with the class. The girl child is moving to Ohio University today.
That's right. That's
and
emotional.
This morning, she went out for ice cream with her coworkers last night, so I did not get to see her and talk to her before I went to bed. And this morning, I got up, and as I was walking out and taking care of the dogs this morning, she moved for a minute and she was sleeping, and I just, had a moment where I know it's creepy, and it wasn't done in a creepy way, but I stared at her for a second while she was asleep.
That is not creepy. Don't even say that. That is kind of
just, I kind of felt like it was. I'm like, I'm such a creeper right now.
It's tender.
But yeah, I was kind of like...
Dudes like to be described as being tender.
I did.
It's a sweet moment.
It's just all this stuff hit me. Yesterday and then last night, because I'm like, it was 6 years ago as you play the creepiest music possible.
Thick Rick.
Oh my God. What is this?
I didn't say anything.
You don't have to. What is this? 6 years ago, I came across all these pictures because, they send you your memories. And, I remember, this was the time where this, she had just, been in my life on kind of a daily
in middle school or whatever.
Yeah, and I'm it's this awkward little girl with glasses and braces that I was teaching how to make lasagna, and then today I'm
she's off to college.
Yeah, damn it, you're an adult. The hell, why? So it's kind of sad.
Yeah.
So I had a moment.
Moving to college today. OU, well, they're really known for their academics. I'm just kidding. They really are. They have a great journalism school, I hear, one of the best in the nation. So
I got her a case of beer.
You did not.
Start her out right. No, I did not. The other thing is, though, I look at guys now and I'm like, I effing know what you're thinking. And I don't like it.
They've been thinking it for years, though. When does that start? When you're 13?
Yeah,
12?
but it's different now.
Well, because it's out of your control.
Different.
It's not going to be in your home anymore.
It's different now. With my eyes, I'm threatening people.
No, you just know what you did in college, bro. That's what you're afraid of.
Exactly. How'd you do this? You had a daughter.
I told her the truth. I said every guy in that high school looks at you every day and wonders how to get you out of your clothes. They will tell you anything. They will lie to you. They will tell you they love you. They will say anything to get you out of your clothes. Do not let it happen. And she didn't.
I'm 50-50 on that.
Hey man, that's the truth though. That's fact.
You're 100% right. I just,
Yeah. I just had to be real and told her, I said, if the day comes where you feel like you want to take that leap, you come talk to us first so that we get you on birth control because you don't need any early kids.
So I would have changed that. If the day comes that you want to take that leap, you don't.
You're going to be homeschooled.
Right.
Yeah. She finally came to us
online university
when she was 18. She came to us when she was 8.
University of Phoenix.
That's sort of telling us a lot of information about your daughter that
really
she might not want out there.
I truly would have. You are rolling at the University of Phoenix. It is the Harvard of the internet. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Got to be honest with them. Kids are smart. They understand the truth. That it's when you kind of I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. When you don't tell them straight up. You just say, well, no, you don't do
Beat
this.
around the bush.
Yeah, you
We'll
don't
go-
beat around the bush. You just tell them how the world really is.
We'll go right back to middle school. Look, you need to restock the water in the fridge. And, oh, by the way, your thesis is due, so stop procrastinating.
Well, congratulations on raising a kid up through college.
Yeah, okay.
College entry. That's really good.
It's not me. I did so very little. So, anyway.
Stop.
Morning Blitz Trivia. What do we got?
We have a fast food chain that is starting its own streaming service. Like we need another one. But a fast food chain is starting a streaming service. What is the fast food chain? Text us at 99700. If you're the first one to tell us, you will get $25 to waterbeds and stuff.
That's 3 days grace on your morning Blitz 623. It's Thick Rick, Kelly Quinn, Lewis on a Thursday morning, or Throwback Thursday if you post old pictures of yourself on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and various social media platforms to have people comment on how you used to look, good or bad.
One thing I will say when Facebook throws you those, this is what you posted 10 years ago, 15 years ago, whatever, 80% of the time I don't remember it. I don't remember posting it. I don't remember the discussion that followed. I have no memory of it.
I get a few of those that pop up. I'm like, when did I take that picture?
Yeah. Yeah, most of the pictures I'll say I remember the event, but particular posts that may have had a large discussion.
Yeah.
Nothing. No memory.
Thick Rick, when you post pictures of a bass you caught 10 years ago, do you remember the day you caught that particular bass?
Dude, if I catch a big bass, I remember the day, exactly where I caught it, what the bait was. It's ridiculous. I don't know why, but yes.
It sounds like my husband with Buckeye games. He'll be like, okay, do you remember in 2019 when, the Michigan State game where blah, and I'm like,
I do that to Heather, too.
I do not. But it was such a big event. It's like it's locked right in.
That's what it is. When it makes a huge impact on you, that's what you remember.
Yeah.
The fact that he said that about fishing does not surprise me at all, because the day that I went fishing, I pictured this laid back, just sit on a boat, relax for a while. Oh, no. It was the most legit thing I've ever seen. He had his depth chart out, his digital depth chart out, knew where to fish. I've been in these parts for a while. I can tell you where the fish are good. I can tell you why this structure over here. He knew everything. So that does not surprise me that I caught this bass on April 13th, 2012.
What were you thinking? Like he was going to come out in his dungarees and you're going to be on the side of the river with the fishing pole?
I knew that he was legit. I did not realize the level of legitness that went into this.
I probably don't realize it either.
I don't know that
professional this is. Yeah.
I don't know that you do, and I don't know that anybody would until you've experienced it firsthand.
Well, and we talk about that as bass fishermen. It's like when people hear fishing, most people think of sitting on a dirty bank with a bobber drowning worms. Yeah, right.
Andy Griffith.
Griffith.
And but no, out there we never stop moving. It's constant.
Oh no. Pack up. Better fish over here.
They're not here. We're going over there and see if they're over there.
When's the time for a PB&J? This is a lot of work.
It really is.
I
love it.
Seriously. I was very impressed. Not even lie. All right. Morning Blitz trivia.
Question was, what fast food chain is developing its own streaming service? And I can't wait. We'll see what happens. But it's Chick-fil-A. What makes them think that they're going to be able to compete somehow with...
Is it going to be like Christian streaming or something?
No, but it is going to be very family-friendly.
I like it.
Little Toby Mac while you're waiting in that excessively long drive-through system they've got going on there.
They've been working with Hollywood studios and production companies to create content, so it's not like they're just looking for a bunch of other stuff. They're going to have original content to showcase family-friendly shows, mostly unscripted stuff. There'll be a lot of game shows and reality TV in there, they said. But there will be scripted projects and animation. I don't know. Maybe they're trying to come up with an alternative to Disney Plus. Like this will be a lot cheaper or something. I don't know. But Disney's, that's a whole different world.
Yeah.
It sounds like, the Hallmark Channel, they have all the Christmas movies or whatever all that. And then there was like a family, what is it? GFC something family channel or something. That they created that in response to the Hallmark Channel not being family friendly enough or something.
But see, Chick-fil-A is already late to this party. I told you guys about Walmart Radio, home of the Chris Show. Yeah. Hey, you're listening to the Chris Show on Walmart Radio. Who we got here? This is Sandra from store number 63. Want to shout out to all my peeps in Home Goods. You're on the Chris Show.
Is it really
on Walmart
to that
Radio.
level?
That is what it is. I swear to Jesus,
I've
that
never
is
heard
what it
it.
is.
I'm going to have to look it up online, see if I can find
it's
some of
the
that.
Great American Family Channel.
Okay.
So when you say streaming, Thick, you mean video. Like they're creating, it's not like a radio thing.
No,
This
movies and
this is
TV.
Oh,
movies,
really?
TV.
Yeah.
Dang.
Who's going to watch that?
That's what I said.
Speaking of which, someone said, where is it? They were talking about your fishing. Oh, Nate, my first 3-pound bass 7 years ago. Rickenbacker flip reel pumpkin seed trick worm. No idea
Bam.
what that even is.
It's a little plastic worm.
Oh.
Somebody
A colored pumpkin seed.
Somebody just texted in Chick-fil-A and chill.
There you go.
Oh, jeez.
And Doug's right. Ever since Rick lost his brother in that tragic bass fishing accident, he had to better off know he could beat the fish. So he's up his game to a whole new level.
All right, well, Brad Ardre from Lancaster was the first one to text in Chick-fil-A, so he's got $25 to Waterbeds and Stuff and Beds and Stuff Superstores, Columbus's original vapor store.
It's the Morning Blitz.
And now it's time for I've Got Something.
Let's see if these dummies have anything worthwhile for us.
All right. Who's got something first?
Can I just get this out of the way? I've got something. I'm obsessed with these stupid banners, and I'm going to be ticked off at the end when I find out what they are.
Is
but
this
they're
day
still
3?
flying. This is day 3.
Okay.
LW.
Flying banners around downtown, campus, etc. So yesterday's banner said, and I quote, "I was looking for forever, LW." So Monday we had "We're over, LW. I'm moving on." Tuesday we had "I needed more than you gave, LW." And yesterday it was "I was looking for forever, LW." Now, someone on Reddit was able to look at the flight radar, narrow down which plane it was, and narrowed it down to a Cessna Skyhawk, registered to a private owner, and it got the registration number and everything. But we don't know who it is, and we still don't know what ad campaign this is, or if it's actually a legitimate, scorned person who's flying. So I'm assuming I'm being played right now, and I will tell you that I'm getting to a point where if you don't reveal yourself soon, I will vow to never use your business if I'm really mad by the end. Is that fair? Do you understand what I'm saying? I feel like you need to reveal yourself now, because if you string me along any further, I'm going to be more mad than I am impressed.
It'd be funny if it was some rich person who could just afford to do it because they got broke up with.
Please, give me that. I'm begging for that to be the situation, but I absolutely know that we're being strung along here. We're being strung along. And whatever business you are that's stringing me along right now, you have one more day to make this right. I'm out.
What if they just fly a big barcode around so you can take a picture, click it, and it'll take you to what it is?
Yeah, fly over with a QR code.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'll take it. I just want this resolved.
It's some guy with money. He's mad because Lisa Welch broke up with him.
Lisa Welchel?
Lisa, she's
Maybe.
jeez. She's a heartbreaker.
The facts of life.
Absolutely.
The facts of life.
That Blair just was never settled down.
All right, I've got something.
What you got?
I know, Kelly, this probably won't mean a lot to you, but Lewis, what do you think of if I say backyard sports?
Wiffle ball?
Jarts.
No.
Jarts.
No. Video games.
Why would I think, if you say backyard sports...
You never played backyard football, backyard basketball?
On a video game?
The video games. Backyard sports video games.
No, I played backyard football and backyard wiffle ball and all that. I've never played backyard sports on video games.
Yeah, it was like they were little kid versions. Like if you played backyard football, it was a little kid version of the players, like Madden, but little kids playing street ball in the backyard.
I never played this.
Really?
I did not.
Oh,
I'm
it's
sorry.
so cute.
Oh,
I just
yeah, it's
looked it
awesome.
up. There's
Oh, my
little
gosh.
cute cartoons.
Yeah, I still got. I think I had it for PS2, maybe.
Why all of a sudden do I feel like I have failed at life?
I don't know. It started in 1997.
Isn't that cute?
Yeah. Started in 1997, and it had gone away, but it will relaunch here coming up. Let's see. Oh, they didn't give the exact date. They just said it is going to relaunch, and it will include, backyard basketball, football, soccer. The games were well known for characters like Pablo Sanchez. You guys who played it, it's from Playground Productions, and they think it'll still resonate with today's kids. And then, of course, those of us who like the nostalgia will still play them.
I'll have to check it out. I never played it.
Man. Those things were really popular. Yeah, I've still got backyard football at home.
That's cool. I'll have to look into that now, seeing the pictures of it. I just never gravitated towards it.
Super cute.
Clay, speaking of being trolled, Clay said in regards to Kelly's banners, this is how I feel about eco plumbers. I literally feel that way. And I agree with you. I feel like either they are constantly seeing, hey, we just made the worst possible commercial ever, hold my beer, or are they going, let's troll these people even more, especially with the latest song, because that.
Hey, if you need a plumber, what are you thinking of first?
Eco.
Honestly.
Yeah,
so,
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
That works.
It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant, trolling or not. All right, I got something. Smokers get a bad rap, correct? We would all agree that smokers get a bad rap, right?
Smoking, yeah.
Smoking. Well, good news. Cigarette smokers have lower rates of Parkinson's disease than non-smokers.
You sons of... How did you do it?
I don't know.
So, now,
Lower rates of Parkinson's?
lower rates of Parkinson's in smokers than in non-smokers. Now, let's not talk about lung cancer because it's significantly the opposite.
I was going to say, so when you're laying there dying of lung cancer, you'll remember everything.
Exactly.
At least
I
it's
don't
not
have Parkinson's. So, there you go.
Wow, really? I wonder if there's actually a connection, or
I don't know.
that is bizarre.
Maybe God just went, all right, look, we're already screwing these people on the cancer side.
Give him a break on the
Give
Parkinson's.
them a break on the other side of things.
Oh my gosh, Daniel just made me laugh. He texted in, I love backyard sports. We want a pitcher, not a belly itcher. Game's got jokes, and it does, and that was one of them.
How did I not play this?
I don't know, man. How'd you miss it?
I don't know. Like I said, I feel like I failed at life this morning. You just throw one more onto the pile. All right. Coming up, I had a moment this morning where I was moved.
Oh, we got soft, Lewis?
Was this on the potty?
Moved, not movement.
Okay.
No. And Kelly, it's not between 12:30 and 2:30 in the
I just
afternoon.
feel like I need to clarify with you.
Staying on your morning blitz, 6:48 with Thick Rick, Kelly Quinn, and Lewis. So, last night, we went out to dinner, which we'll get to a little bit later about that, to celebrate the fact that the girl is going to OU.
Okay, so it was like a Last Supper type situation before college. I love it.
And they celebrated a day that I didn't really celebrate. But I did have a moment last night that I was not expecting to have. I was opening up birthday cards, and I got to the boy child's birthday card. When I was opening it.
Okay, I totally spaced that it was also your birthday. I'm thinking
No,
it
that's
was
okay. We
okay.
don't
Got you.
celebrate.
Yes, it's your birthday.
So I opened the boy child's birthday card, and in the message line, he wrote, I always appreciate the things you do for me sometimes. And I was kind of like, aw, really?
Sort of a first expression of I appreciate you.
Very
type.
much so, yes. Very much so. Usually don't get that.
Oh, did your heart grow 3 sizes?
2.
2 sizes?
I think
Solid 2.
when they become an adult, they look back and think, wow, they did a lot for me.
It was just it was unexpected. Like I did not see that coming.
Yeah.
And again, I know it's like 7 words, but
Gosh, that means everything, though, doesn't it?
but it truly did. I was like, wow. I'm like, that's a gift that I didn't expect to get, kind of thing. It was just it was interesting.
Made it all worth it. All the heartache.
It did.
All the work.
Kind of had I did have a moment.
That's really nice.
I thought so too.
That's nice. That made your birthday, I bet.
I know. Then we went and smoked a fatty.
You did not.
You're right. We did.
Oh, now I'm disappointed. I thought you were serious. What'd you eat?
Hibachi.
All right. I love a hibachi grill.
Okay. There was a moment last night. We've asked this question before, and later this morning we'll get into it because I truly 1,000% do believe that I was the a-hole last night.
Oh no!
Wow, on your own birthday.
Yeah, and this was prior to my heartfelt moment last night. I do 1,000% believe that I have the a-hole.
Okay.
Doug Rogers texted in, and I thought this when you said it. He did throw in the sometimes. And what you said he wrote, he said, how did you
I always
say?
appreciate what you do for me sometimes.
Always
Other times,
or sometimes?
not so much.
Well, no, but I mean, I would never say that I do everything all the time. That's not a fair assessment. Believe me, I've probably made far more mistakes than I did otherwise.
That was in the other part of the card.
Yeah.
You've made far more mistakes than you have done.
It was probably a collective between all three of them. They sat down. What can I say that's nice? Tell him you appreciate him sometimes. Oh, that sounds good. No, I'm not going to cheat in the moment.
Even though you screwed up so much, I always appreciate what you did for me sometimes.
75% of the time, you don't get it right. But that 25% is magic.
I do love the fact that, you guys can get together and work on the cars. Obviously, he hasn't been involved in some of the things, like the roof of the Jeep.
Roof of the Jeep is fantastic, by the way.
Oh, is it all good now?
All good. Drove today. It passed the highway test. Sealed up nice and tight.
What day was it you were coming in?
Friday.
Last Friday, yeah, for those of you who didn't
the
hear
top,
that.
my soft top ripped backwards Friday, literally opened up while I was driving. So
on the freeway.
Lost part of the frame, but managed to fabricate another one. And
I'm going to get you a rubber ducky dressed as a mechanic.
Well, he should have a rubber ducky. He's got a Jeep.
And for the record, I had never done anything on this top before. So this wasn't something that I YouTubed my way through and then it didn't go well. This was just a freak thing. So, yeah. But it was a nice moment.
That's very nice. That really capped off your birthday after you were being an a-hole at the hibachi restaurant.
Someone said, my son just asked me if he can have my truck when I die. He's 5. Oh. I mean, you got to appreciate the planning ahead.
And now, the 3 things you need to know before you go.
You guys, I'm sorry to bring this to you at breakfast time. This is so gross. But Chicago police and the FBI are investigating if someone put maggots in the hotel breakfast being served to delegates at the Democratic National Convention. So this happened at the Fairmont Hotel yesterday, and this is where the delegates from Ohio, Indiana, Minnesota, Missouri, and South Dakota are staying. Authorities say, and I quote, multiple unknown female offenders are alleged to have entered a building and began placing unknown objects onto tables containing food. Then they left the area. One person was treated and released on scene. I'm not sure if they ingested these maggots or what happened. The Ohio delegation's breakfast was not affected. They were eating on a different floor. No other information about this being released. That is a gross crime.
It's got to be the protesters, right?
Oh, it's just foul. I don't know. I'm sure we'll find out more. They have to have heavy surveillance, so We'll see. Day 3 of the Democratic National Convention saw the party's vice presidential nominee, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, introduce himself to Americans in the keynote speech.
It's the honor of my life to accept your nomination for Vice President of the United States.
Now, there were several heavy hitters speaking last night, including Oprah, Nancy Pelosi, and former President Bill Clinton.
Kamala Harris will work to solve our problems, seize our opportunities, ease our fears, and make sure every single American, however they vote, has a chance to chase their dreams.
Tonight's feature, of course, Vice President Kamala Harris accepting the party's nomination for president. A California family was eating at a Fujiyama Japanese restaurant in Salinas when the mom said her 2-year-old daughter started acting so weird. I think you say she kind of describes what was happening.
She was swaying, she was falling over, she was leaning on the walls, she couldn't hold her head up, she was slurring her words.
So mom and dad had ordered their little daughter an apple juice. So they grabbed the apple juice and took a whiff. It was wine. It house-made cooking wine, to be exact.
Oh,
That's
not
good
even
stuff.
good one.
Not even good stuff, yeah.
Franzia. It's not just for cooking.
So they rushed their little daughter to the ER. They did a blood alcohol test. She tested at 0.12%.
Oh, my gosh.
This little baby. The restaurant said it was a absolute mistake. Listen to... Apparently, they stored this cooking wine in a large container labeled apple juice. And the poor server did not know.
Oh, my
Thought it was
gosh.
apple juice, gave it to the kid.
That's why you should have put it in if you have drugs, you put it in a bag that says bag of drugs. Now there's no question what's what.
It's just a mistake that never should have happened. They are doing an investigation. I'm quite sure that they will be on the hook to pay that little baby's ER bill. And those are your three things.
Lincoln Park on the Morning Blitz. Thick Rick, Kelly Quinn, Lewis. Before we get too far into this, we have tickets to give away for Cage the Elephant today. If you'd like to go see that show in Cincinnati, you want to be caller number 25 at 800-821-9970 when you hear Foo Fighters Learn to Fly. Listen for the Foos sometime between now and 8 o'clock for your chance to win tickets to Cage the Elephant. So, a few times I've asked the question, am I the a-hole? Right?
Yeah, it's usually either we're split or you're not.
And usually when something like this happens, I'm in a grocery store.
Yes. Same.
Not this time.
Not this time. Okay.
So we went out last night, and the more so to celebrate the girl heading off to Ohio University today, as opposed to celebrating August 21st for whatever reason last
Your
night.
birthday, yeah. Go on.
So I made her choose, because she's like, where do you want to go? I'm like, wherever you want to go. Well, I don't know where I want to go. We'll figure it out. So she chose hibachi.
All right.
So we go to hibachi, and I don't know if I'm assuming you two have been to hibachi?
I've been to Benihana and Fujiyama, both.
Japanese Steakhouse, House of Japan.
There's some pretty standard things that happen at a hibachi grill when the chef comes out to your table. You sit with a bunch of people you do not know, for the most part, right?
Yeah, if you don't have a big enough party, you're being seated with strangers.
Right.
You get to see an onion train.
You do the guy makes the onion volcano and lights it on fire, and you do all these other stuff. There's a part in the hibachi experience where they squirt sake into the mouth of people sitting around the hibachi table.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
I saw that on The Office, Benihana Christmas.
Okay.
Go on.
For the kids, they have a non-alcoholic version of the sake that they squirt in your mouth, and the idea is how long can you take the shot, which is, okay, I get it, it's par for the course. Now, here's where my visual aid comes in. Now, I don't have the proper visual aid because the chef has a metal version of these. I only had a plastic one here in the kitchen, okay? It's a spatula, correct?
Yeah, spatula.
Now, when they're hibachiing, they chop things up on the grill with a spatula or whatever. While they're doing the shot, there's a table next to us. While they're doing the shot of sake, this guy is doing this. I'm trying to make...
Okay.
Now picture
You're
that.
talking about the chef.
The chef.
Yeah.
Picture that.
Yeah. All right. Got it.
10 times louder as this guy is still taking sake in his mouth, right? This is going on metal. Bang, 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 bang,
You
bang,
have
bang,
to
bang.
stop. You have to stop.
Yeah, we got
doing
it.
that.
No, we're not done yet. This guy's still taking sake, right? Then they get the kids involved at the table for the non-alcoholic sake. And he's doing this.
Why?
Okay, you're stressing me out right now.
know,
So
right?
bad.
As kind of loud, I'm sitting next to the boy child. I'm like, for the love of God, stop. And then, like, the guy with his bleach blonde M&M hair, kind of that it was his kids at the table, shoots me kind of a look. And then the chef comes over to our table because it's our turn for the sake experience. Sake experience. And I said, as loud as I possibly could, I will pay you if you don't bang that spatula.
Oh. I think that's funny. I would have said, how much is it going to cost me to have you not bang the spatula?
So
that's killing my head.
You would have said it with that little giggle. And
I
stuff
would have.
there
I would
as
have been
Lewis is
nice.
going,
I was serious.
Yeah, no, I would have absolutely made it into a joke, but I would have. I can see myself maybe sort of saying around the same thing, like, oh.
Like, I know it's part of the hibachi experience. I get it. But after a while, I'm like, effing enough is enough. Like, I have Excedrin trillion headache right now from this stupid spatula.
So is it more just like a go?
You're supposed to count. He's like, 1, 2, 3. But I mean, literally, it was
Just banging. Oh, he just broke the spatula.
I mean, non-stop. I'm kidding you not. This went on for like 8 minutes. So like my threshold, I had reached my threshold.
Wait, somebody's taking a shot for 8 minutes? I feel like you're overestimating how long it was.
Oh, no, I'm not. Between the two kids and the dad, 8 minutes. At least 8 minutes. Because the boy kid and I are both like, I almost was ready to give him permission to swear because I was right there with him.
Yeah, those kind of loud noises do give me like an inner feeling of very great unease. I can't take it. So I feel like I'm with you on the, like, I can't stand the loud noise.
I'm just like, read the room. You're not the only one in there. And I can see like every other table around was just kind of like this look like how much longer is this going to go on kind of thing. And they just kept going and going and
also, though, here's the thing. Is because you're sharing the table with strangers and they're in super party mode and having a great time. Like you kind of have to be okay with what happens at your table because you're not in control of it.
Sure.
You're not in control of the people you sit with. They're in super party mode. So you don't want to like pee on their party, you know, if I could be so gross as to say, like you don't want to be a wet blanket.
But you at the same time don't want to be, you know, read the room kind of thing.
Well, yeah, everybody was reading the room and they're all having a blast except you.
Exactly.
I just don't know why they think that's entertainment.
I don't either.
Well, because you're like, go.
Oh
Haven't you ever been at a bar in college where people are like you're drinking shots?
Yeah,
or
but
whatever,
it didn't take us 8 minutes.
8 minutes with a spatula banging in the background.
I need surveillance video. I guarantee
I sent you
are
the picture.
overestimating.
I sent you both the picture last night.
Though I don't think it lasted 8 minutes.
I
think
promise
that
you
you were in such deep distress. It felt like 8 minutes, but it was really maybe 2 minutes.
Tweez around the morning blitz at 7:24 with Thick Rick, Kelly Quinn, and Lewis on a Thursday morning where we'll see a nice day today, actually. If you were planning on doing anything outside, you picked the right day for it. Sunny and 80, clear tonight down to 55, and then sunny and 85 tomorrow. So still summertime, in case you were wondering.
Beautiful.
Saw Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, high 92.
Yeah.
There's like a heat dome, and it's over Texas right now, so it's headed our way, I guess.
I talked to my parents yesterday, and they're like, it was a great day today. It was only 103.
Oh, my gosh.
My parents live in Arizona.
We vacationed a couple times in Sedona, and so, you know, you land in Phoenix, and it's unfrickin' bearable in Phoenix. And they're like, oh, what are you talking about? It's only 99. And I'm like, oh, we're under 100.
Yeah, my stepdad's like, it's a comfortable day. It's been like 111. Today it was 103, and I was walking the dog, and I thought maybe I need a jacket. I'm like, yeah, I mean, 103, you'll catch the death of a cold. Like,
amazing what you can get used to.
Right? So, am I the a-hole? Last night we went to hibachi to celebrate the girl child going to Ohio University. And I won't recreate the sound, but the hibachi chef during the hibachi experience where they shoot sake into your mouth, and I kid you not, 8 minutes of banging this metal spatula, like bang, 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 over and over again, very loud. And I'm not taking the wind out of the sails of the kids and the family at the other table that was having a good time. The chef did not have to bang it at that decibel level. Like, he could have just tapped, and it would have been far quieter. But you're banging metal on metal.
Yeah, no, I got it. I heard a version of it that I don't care to hear again. So I understand the frustration.
So 8 minutes worth going on and on. So because I said something, I'm like, I loudly said, for the love of God, just stop. And they all looked at me.
The only reason Lewis is not making that sound now is because he broke the owner's favorite spatula that he was making the noise with.
Yeah,
so you said, for the love of God, stop making everything awkward.
Right.
Everything shut down. Like, everybody looked at you.
Yeah, I mean, everybody else was looking too. Like, I could look around other tables and like, oh my, and you could see, you could read the room, you could read people's eyes, like, how much longer is this going to keep going on? So,
but your anxiety was such to where you had to like make a giant announcement.
My threshold had been passed,
right?
And then when the guy came over to our table and grabbed the sake bottle, I'm like, I will pay you not to bang that spatula. And then
I love that move. I have no problem with that move right there.
And then the chef shot me the evil eye. It was almost like one of those movies where his mouth started moving, but the words didn't come out yet. And then he was like, I see you are voiced in Kung Fu too. And I was like, I am. Dragon style. And he's like, your Kung Fu is not as good as mine. That didn't happen, but it would have been badass if it would have.
So what happened? Was
Mortal Kombat!
Was it awkward from then on?
Yeah, of course
at the table.
Of course it was. And then the guy at our table who wanted to take a shot of sake kind of looked at me like it was okay, and I'm like, I nodded in approval.
So you're the rule maker at that point. All right. Most people are saying you're not the a-hole.
What's a guy got to do to be an a-hole? Come on.
Because I think because you did such a good job with banging that spatula on the table here that we all got the picture about how annoying it was.
Josh said, maybe we can ask Lauren about Lewis's version of 8 minutes. She would say 64 easily.
Now, listen, there is a rare hearing disorder called hyperacusis, I think. And then where sounds that other people perceive as normal sounds are very uncomfortably loud for the person who has hyperacusis.
Ah.
All right? It's rare, and it usually accompanies tinnitus. But it could be that you have hyperacusis, and you heard that banging so loud, and everybody else, it was just normal too. Do you think that could be it?
I didn't say anything until I watched everybody else in the room looking around too. Like they were like, oh my God, this is going on way too long. Yes.
We got a text that says, we had a whole entire class about this specific thing with loud noises. It's called misophonia?
Misophonia.
Okay. Phobia or phonia?
Phonia.
Oh, misophonia.
Misophonia. It's where
Misophonia.
You can't tolerate specific sounds. It's usually when you can't stand hearing people chew.
Yeah.
And things like that, like it triggers you.
And she said it's a legit thing, and you are not the a-hole. However, one person said call a proctologist because you are the a-hole.
Yeah.
Doug.
Yeah, you know. Yes, he's serious. Tristan said, or Carrie from Delaware, sometimes you just need to be the justifiable hole of the arse.
Yeah, maybe everybody appreciated it.
Wish I could recreate this with like a kung fu movie scene. It would have been great.
Mike said there's a Fujiyama on Hamilton Road. Where's the other one, Kelly?
There at least used to be one on Cleveland Avenue.
Right?
I think that's still there. I don't know.
And then Steve said Americans should cook our way in front of Asian people. Just three rednecks sitting around a barbecue asking if they want a hot dog or a hamburger.
Right? That's funny. That would be. Would they know what to do? This is boring.
Right?
Where's the onion tower fire? When does that start? Came to see that.
Oh my gosh.
All right, well, you know, sometimes you try to be an a-hole, you still can't get the job done, I guess. 7:39 on the Morning Blitz. Dick, Rick, Kelly Quinn, Lewis, and that was the song you were listening for. Foo Fighters Learn to Fly, for a chance to win tickets to see Cage the Elephant in Cincinnati, and those tickets are going to
Derek Robbins in London.
Nice job, Derek.
Got
Congratulations. All right. Back to school is officially happening. You can't get away from it.
Yes.
So, getting good grades, how did that work in your house? Did you have to was there like rules in place? Did your parents kind of set some guidelines? You know, were there punishment involved? Were there rewards involved? How'd that work for you two?
For me, there was just an expectation set that you are to do the best you possibly could. And there was no greater reward than my dad's praise. So getting A's, that was, for me, I'm firstborn, so I'm like striving hard anyway for good grades. That's just, it was my personality. I wanted to get A's, etc. And, you know, the praise from my father for a good report card was the absolute greatest thing I could get. It made me feel so good. It was that is what made me strive.
Okay, so you did it for the praise.
I did it for the praise. I did it for the glory, for the on the refrigerator report card. I did it for that reason only. I never got any other kind of reward for it.
Your royal thickness?
It was just beat into my head constantly how important education was. Doesn't mean I always tried that hard, but I usually did. I put in quite a bit of effort, but there was no reward or anything. I just wanted good grades. I just, you know, I had a fear of that being held back thing.
Oh,
Other kids would be like, "Oh, he got held back."
That was a big fear.
Ever want that to happen?
That was a fear.
So yeah, I mean, I was mostly on the honor roll, but there were some years, some classes I just would likely have been because I was more bored than anything else with the class, so I'd end up getting a C or something,
Yeah, I wish I could go back. I wish I could go back and get better grades. I only cared about staying eligible because I was an idiot.
You just wanted to play football?
Yeah, and I wish I would have, if I could go back and do that again, that's one turn that I would definitely take a different role down. I would have, because I got really good and I got better grades in college.
Yeah.
After, my parents threatened me and everything, and I spent the first year drinking a lot. I got better grades in college, and I wish I would have had that mindset earlier, I think, and I think it would have helped. But I don't ever remember my mom bribing me to get good grades. I don't recall. And I know when the kids, we kind of told both of them, your job is school.
Right.
Get good grades.
Yeah. You don't have to worry about anything else.
Yeah, because we were kind of along the lines of, I'm not paying you to do things you should be doing anyway. So we looked at it as, your job is school, your job is to get good grades. It's not $100 a day or, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't.
Yeah, I remember kids getting like $1 for every A they got.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know. I don't hate it. If that encourages your kid to work and,
Right.
and you can afford to, shell out money for an A every quarter or whatever.
So is it, you do what you got to do, Trucker Tim? Happy belated birthday to your oldest Silas from yesterday, and happy anniversary to Thomas and his wife. Their anniversary was yesterday. But we want to know, do you bribe your kids? Is that policy nowadays? Would you, if you could do it again, would you have bribed them?
Jason had texted us, I'll gladly give my son $100 every 9 weeks if he brings home good grades.
Okay.
Wow.
So, okay.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
Yeah, I'm just asking, is that a way to get them to, because, I guess by bribing them, does that ingrain that idea that you have to get good grades into them?
Goose said,
or that you get rewarded.
Yeah.
Goose said, my mom had a reward system. We don't flunk and my mom won't whoop our butts.
Yeah, I was going to say, get an F, you don't eat for a week. It's like,
Prison life. That's the question this morning. Do you bribe the kids? Is that the policy you go with for back to school?
Now, we didn't bribe my son. He's a really intelligent guy.
Tyler?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
He is. He's incredibly smart. But he, I'm a gamer. I was always a gamer since I was a little kid. And so, he carried on that. And it just, he saw me playing. He wanted to play. Now he's a gamer. And he wanted to play a lot when he was in school. And I just made it real easy. I said, look, if you're on the honor roll, as long as you're on the honor roll, you play as much as you want. That's it. Simple. If you're on the honor roll, I don't care if you play all day, every day.
So you bribed without money,
right? It was just, I will allow you to do what you want to do, because obviously you're getting the grades, and every day he'd come home from school and he would do his homework till it was done, and then he would play. And that's the thing. You work and then you play, and that's what he got from that, and that's the way he is to this day. So it worked out really well, that for us. I don't know if that will work for everybody, but it worked out with him great.
Godsmack on the early blitz. Godsmack on the morning blitz. Earlier we were talking about bribing your kids for grades with Thick, Kelly, and Lewis, and that's where we are today. Rick said that he gave his son Tyler the option to play as many video games as he wanted, provided his homework was done, and Kelly, she did it all. Honor roll. Okay. Yes. Kelly did it all for the praise.
Oh, I did it for the praise of my parents, mostly my dad.
And I was a complete F up. So
you got into college. What was your high school? What'd you end up with your GPA in high school?
1.9.
Oh, that's why you got into Tennessee.
1.9, maybe a 2.0 or something.
What was yours, Kelly?
3.8.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but see,
I had a 3.4.
But I graduated UC with a 3.6.
So you just didn't take it serious. Not because you were dumb.
I'm not dumb.
You just were bored. You didn't take it serious.
I am an opinionated, I am an a-hole, but I am not dumb. Like, I will not, I don't apply myself. Right. There's a difference.
Yes, there is.
I have to be into it to apply myself to it. That's how I am. That's how I've always been. It's a terrible way to be. I don't recommend it, but,
Amanda texted, I don't pay my kids for good grades, but the little extortionists have figured out that Grandma pays big from making the honor roll.
Damn you, Grandma!
Well, I mean, if the money's not coming out of your pocket and it's working, what the heck?
Andy said he doesn't call it bribing. He calls it incentive, which is fair. Jonathan said, I tell my boy if he doesn't do good in school and bring home good grades, I can't say the order of this. Oh, you won't be riding his motorcycle. I'll take the keys. And every day you don't do good, you'll do extra chores on the farm, like shoveling pig poo and stuff like that. That's good incentive. Extra chores.
I don't want to shovel pig poo.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than you want to go out and do something with your friends, and you're like, oh, no.
Farm life is no joke.
Right?
No.
Yeah.
It's not.
Mary
Absolutely.
said my mom would give me a $1 bill for an A. That's from Mary Peters.
Aw.
Casey said I was the third child. Both my older sisters were very studious. Every report card, straight A's. Then there was me. I was always in my own head. If I got C's, I was going out for ice cream. This continued through college.
Dominic said my kids' school rewards them for good grades by taking them on special field trips, and that's enough for me. Now, when it was just me, I didn't want to get my ass whipped by my dad. So, like, a D was a SWAT with a paddle, and F was 2. I came home once with 2 Fs and 3 Ds. Not a good day.
Oh, my gosh.
Jerica says, I remember my motivation in school was, is it GameStop? Giving $5 off your video games for every A you had?
Did they really?
It's just a game.
I think the place was called Game On.
Game On.
Game
Yeah,
On.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Game On, giving $5 off. That's pretty cool.
I was like,
So
damn.
they did it.
There for a minute, I was like, wow, GameStop will give you more for a good grade than they will if you actually trade in a game.
Somebody else, and I'm
that's
trying to
true.
find it here, that Cheryl's Cookies, oh, here it is, Thena, says Cheryl's Cookies gives a free cookie per A on your grade card.
Brandy said, I don't have kids. However, I like to think that since we get paid for our smarts or education as adults, that bribing your kids with money is just like us paying for them to see their real potential. Then we don't have as many people as Lewis who have regret for not reaching higher because they really didn't apply themselves. Spot on, Brandy. You will get no argument from me on that one at all. Michelle, they must have a chandelier in their house paying their daughter $20 for each A.
Hey, how about that? I think that's great. It's once a quarter, once every how many weeks are you doing it?
Yeah,
If you can
got
afford it.
What are 8 classes a day, A's in all 8 of them at $20? That's a good haul for 9 weeks.
Right.
At $20 an A if you got straight A's.
Love it.
Josh Reeves said, got A's and B's without even trying. Never had homework.
Baby,
Yeah, la-di-da.
Baby Huey, D's get degrees. That's true. They do.
Wait, say that again?
D's get degrees.
D's get degrees.
And I agree. I think I will, if you are going to be an ad executive, I'll accept your D plus that you got your degree with. However, when it comes to things like, I don't know, neurosurgery, cardiology, and any kind of medical doctor, I don't want the D student.
To be fair, though, in all their courses, I do think there is, you have to at least get a C. You can't get below that.
I'm not
I do
sure
think
I
that's
even
that
want,
way in med
I'm
school.
not sure I even want the C student.
But correct me if I'm wrong. I may be wrong, but I don't think so. I don't think you can be a D student.
Yeah.
Maybe that's to keep your scholarship.
Where'd you go
I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking...
Where'd you go to med school?
Something else.
The University of Phoenix. They say it's the Harvard of the internet. Oh, okay. I'm sure I'm fine.
Lauren says, our boys start each week with $5. This is for helping on the farm and doing their schoolwork. If
Nice.
they don't do the work, we remove some of the money. Kind of like Jack Nicholson and As Good as It Gets. You remove a dollar of the tip.
I like
every
that.
time you don't like what your server's doing.
I like that.
Stephanie asked, is thick ADHD?
Are you?
What did I say?
I don't know.
Medicated or non-medicated?
Ah. Jared, you guys got A's? No. Well, Kelly did.
I did get A's, not all A's. I mean, as we all know, I'm terrible at math, so...
That's funny.
Is there any surprise that Kelly had the highest grade point average of all 3 of us?
No,
Okay,
I'm
I
not
didn't
surprised.
think so
I mean,
either.
she almost got into Mensa.
That's
For God's
true.
sakes. What, 97 percentile?
I think everybody almost gets into.
Yeah, but you were in the 97 percentile. You
I
were
don't
right
remember,
on
man.
the edge.
You really are focused on that.
Because I will never forget it. I was so impressed.
I took the test as just for fun, and the bottom line is I did not get invited to join Mensa.
Oh, so just for fun, she wasn't even trying and still got into the upper 97%. See what I mean?
Stephanie says, that MF and master's degree I have framed says master's, not master's with C's and B's. It says master's.
There you go.
True.
There you
That's
go.
true.
Grades show you're a good test taker. Test anxiety is real. That I agree with. I very much agree with that. Serena says, my sister is a psychologist, and they definitely can't move on from certain classes if they get less than a C.
Yes,
Good.
that's what I've
Okay.
seen too. It's like if you don't pass your courses with a C, then you have to repeat them.
Someone said, we got $15 for an A, $10 for a B, nothing for a C. Had to pay $10 for a D and $15 for an F.
Ooh,
I kinda like
there's
that.
a system.
Kind of like that. So it's interesting. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with it. I think especially when it comes to parents and school. I know how hard it was. I mean, I know the kids did this thing called Membeam, and we still joke with the boy kid this day, hey, you still have some Membeams that you haven't done yet from your junior year or whatever. So whatever you have to do to get your kids to focus on school, I don't know that there's anything necessarily, again, outside of like beating them, like I don't know that there's anything necessarily wrong.
And now, I'm listening. 3 things you need to know before you go.
Well, we brought this up yesterday, rumors that RFK Jr. is going to drop out of the presidential race and endorse Donald Trump. Well, that is now being reported in the major news outlets, and it's according to sources that RFK Jr. is planning to drop out of the presidential race by the end of this week. And in fact, they're also saying that he may be campaigning with Donald Trump at an event in Phoenix tomorrow. So I guess RFK Jr. is scheduled to speak in Phoenix. That is where Donald Trump is rallying. So that is a possible scenario being discussed.
Very, very probably.
Yes. So we shall see, but it looks like that's the direction the RFK Jr. campaign is heading. Director Francis Ford Coppola debuted his new movie Megalopolis at the Cannes Film Festival this year, and it did not go over with critics. So when the studio released the trailer for the movie yesterday, it included quotes from negative reviews of other Francis Ford Coppola movies, like The Godfather, like Bram Stoker's Dracula, like Apocalypse Now. They're trying to say, look, these great, fantastic, iconic movies also got negative reviews. So, you know, that's sort of how they're positioning Megalopolis. The problem is that news outlets started looking into these quotes. They're all fake. They weren't even real. Like those, the people did not give those movies bad reviews. So they pulled the trailer. I mean, it was out less than 24 hours yesterday. The studio pulled the trailer and they apologized for lying.
Wow.
Fake news.
But this movie, I don't know if you've seen the list of stars in this movie, this Francis Ford Coppola movie. It's called Megalopolis. It's a futuristic sci-fi United States world or something or other. But it's got like Adam Driver, Juan Carlo Esposito, Aubrey Plaza, Shia LaBeouf, Jon Voight, Jason Schwartzman, Dustin Hoffman, Lawrence Fishburne.
Just a lot of cameos.
I don't know. I don't have any clue, but it's got the longest list of decent to A-list celebrities that I've seen in a long time. Well, speaking of movie reviews, I don't know if you're like me. I go to Rotten Tomatoes before I spend money at the theater, just to see what the people are saying. Like, I like to see the critics' reviews, but more importantly, I like to see what the regular Joes are thinking, just like I would think. Today, Rotten Tomatoes, in conjunction with Fandango, they're rolling out a brand new rating that will hopefully address review bombing by people who have not even seen the movie. So a lot of people get something you know, in their brains they're mad about, that they heard somebody else say about a movie, and then the movie will get review bombed on Rotten Tomatoes. So this new rating on Rotten Tomatoes is called Verified Hot. And you can only rate a movie in this category if you actually bought your movie ticket. And through Fandango for now, they're working to widen the partnerships there. But if you buy a movie ticket through Fandango, then you are allowed to review the movie in this Verified Hot area. But so I think if you want a better idea of what the movie is, if it's good, bad, that might be the section you look at from here on out. But so they're doing a little bit of tweaking on Rotten Tomatoes to make it a little bit more legitimate. And those are your three things.
Chevelle on the Morning Blitz. It is Thick Rick, Kelly Quinn, Lewis, 810. And if you'd like to win tickets to see Starset this morning, you want to be caller number 16 when you hear Led Zeppelin, Whole Lot of Love. It'll play sometime between now and 9 o'clock. So, Kelly Quinn, you missed this earlier.
Oh, what did I miss?
Thick Rick, ranting and raving about the fact that the NASA telescope has discovered something in space that's moving fast. Super fast. Like a million miles an hour.
You know me, I geek out about outer space.
Yeah.
It's big and it's fast and it's moving.
It's the NASA's WISE telescope. They found this fast-moving object. Kelly, this object is 27,000 times the size of the Earth.
But that doesn't mean he doesn't think he can dodge it if it comes.
Okay, I'm not dodging this. Nobody's dodging this. But thankfully, it's on its way out of the Milky Way, so it's going away from us because... Just wrap your head around this for a second. 27,000 times the size of the Earth, and it's moving 1 million miles per hour. I mean, what in the hell is that out there? And what else is out? 27,000 times the size of the Earth moving 1 million miles per hour.
I don't know, but you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me like Earth is like old school zombies, slow and lumbering, all right? You can track them. But... whatever this object is like World War Z zombies.
Yeah,
they're fast, they're tearing, you can't get away from them. It's like a scarier version of Earth out there.
We all thought we could survive the zombie apocalypse until we saw World War Z. And then we were like, oh, damn.
Yeah, those are different kind of zombies.
They run fast.
That's like this object out there. It's a different kind of planet.
They know how to climb on each other to get over walls.
It's called a Seawise J1249. 1 million miles an hour.
You don't think you could dodge it? I mean, Captain Space Junk?
No, I don't think that's space junk.
I mean, you'd see it coming.
Well, thing's trying to get out of Dodge fast for a reason. We just need to know what the reason is.
According to the Thick Rick theory of dodging space junk, if I could see it coming, I could move out of the way from it. Well, you'd see this coming.
They said it's difficult to classify. Gee, well, maybe that has something to do with the fact it's moving 1 million miles an hour, but they said it's some sort of celestial object, could be a low-mass star or a brown dwarf.
Or
I don't know, but that's big and that's fast.
Or like Chris says, an alien mothership.
Oh, okay.
All right. And they're just coming here and they saw what's going on Earth and went, wow, between their politics, their social media banter and everything, we're out of here. Good morning, Blitz. It's 8:26. Thick Rick, Kelly Quinn. I'm Lewis on a sunny day where we will see a high of 80. Good-looking Thursday or Throwback Thursday, whatever you want to call it. Before we get to what celebrity are you over, I wanted to bring this up, too, because... Are you a Billy Joel fan, Kelly?
Oh, my gosh,
Thank you. Knew it. My mom was pregnant with me and listened to Billy Joel, so I have been a Billy Joel fan since the womb. Since the womb.
Since conception.
Yikes.
Why'd you know... I'm sorry. Why'd you go there?
Man, everybody knew the Uptown Girl was that sexy, sexy song.
Right? Exactly.
All right, so Billy Joel.
They're saying Piano Man might be a song about a gay bar. Not that this changes my opinion of the song in any capacity whatsoever.
Who's they saying this?
I don't know. I don't know if they're
some people.
Who's they?
I mean, number one, who cares? But number two, the song is about loneliness. The song is about people gathering alone at a bar to have some form of connection.
Because it's better than drinking alone.
Yeah. That's right.
It's this one.
There's a theory that the song actually takes place at a gay bar. Billy calls the idea very funny, but also admits he could see how people would take it that way. The main argument centers on the lyric. Now, Paul is a real estate novelist who never had time for a wife, and he's talking with Davey, who's still in the Navy and probably will be for life.
Now, Paul is a real estate novelist who never had time for a wife, and he's talking with Davey, who's still in the Navy and probably will be for life.
Oh, so I guess two guys who sit drinking at a bar can't talk to each other.
They're hooking up.
But
now,
if you didn't add in the he didn't have time for a wife.
But I always took that
why
as
they're
he was
trying to do this.
He's a writer. I always took back that he was spent so much career focused he never had time to get married.
This is a massive stretch. I don't care whether it's a gay bar or not. It doesn't change the song. It's a great song, one of the best that's ever been written out there.
I
this is a silly
1000%
argument.
agree. I 1000% agree, and because then a lot of it comes because the Navy stereotypes. Oh, they were on the boat, on the boat for so long. You got to do something.
Well, wait a minute. What about this lyric?
Now John at the bar is a friend of mine.
Is this the live version?
Me my drinks for free. He sits with me on my piano bench and places his hand on my knee.
I have seen Billy Joel perform many a night. Never have I heard him sing those particular lyrics.
Yeah, I think it's a reach. I mean, it's just, I get the line.
Way, maybe the two are hooking up. So what? So what?
Who cares?
Well, yeah, I don't think, but
it's better than drinking alone.
But they went as far to say they think it's a gay bar. Maybe the real estate novelist and the Navy guy are into each other, but that doesn't mean it's a gay bar, even if that was the case. But I don't think Billy wrote it with that intention.
I got to tell you, though, I thought the first time I was in New York, we were in the middle. I found out really quickly that Times Square shuts down at a certain point of time at night, like it just does. And we couldn't find any place to go. And we were driving around, and we are the only people in New York that cannot find a bar to go into on a Friday night. And we found this place, and it was called Alistair's. And I remember my college friend and I were both like, great, we're in New York. The only bar we could find is a gay bar, because that's what it looked like. It was all dudes inside, and whenever we went in anywhere there were two girls it was an Irish bar. Like, everybody there was Irish owned, Irish operated. It was the most fun I've ever had in a bar in my life. It was phenomenal.
Well, the only woman in this Piano Man song is the waitress. So, hey,
she's practicing politics while the businessman slowly gets stoned.
Yeah, okay.
Sharing a drink they call loneliness, because it's better than drinking alone. 8:41 on the Morning Blitz with Led Zeppelin, Thick Rick, Kelly Quinn, and Lewis. That was the song you were listening for tickets to see the Star Set. Congrats going out to
Kenny Davis from Columbus.
All right.
He said he loves winning stuff.
Okay.
Who doesn't?
Right? See you at the A&R bar for our little pre-party for that Blitz show next weekend already. All right. So I posted this a little bit earlier on our social media so people could get a jump on it, and like everything else, it has turned into something political that has no intention whatsoever of being political. Steve Michael, you're dying on that Hulk Hogan hill, has absolutely nothing to do with which convention he showed up at. We put a bunch of pictures up of celebrities because we started talking about this yesterday with Hulk Hogan being in town, and I'm not a fan of Hulk Hogan. It has nothing to do with his political affiliation.
We couldn't tell.
Could care less.
Yeah, I've never heard a rant that passionate.
Oh, I
have one for you.
I heard about it when I got home from my wife, Heather. She's like, I had no idea Lewis really hates Hulk Hogan.
I do. And I'm a wrestling guy. Anybody who knows me will tell you that I'm a wrestling guy. But we put up celebrities that often, because of their behavior, find themselves in trouble. The examples, Ronnie Radke, Marilyn Manson, Chris Brown, Hulk Hogan, Kevin Spacey.
Yeah.
All these people who have had serious run-ins with something or another. At what point does their behavior reach the point you're over them? And we've had a few people that have commented and said, I can separate art from life. And okay, cool, I get that. Then there are other people that go, nah, I'm done. Because it finally crossed that threshold of whatever. Again, I don't like Chris Brown. Why do I not like Chris Brown? Because you drug your girlfriend in front of traffic and you beat her senseless. That's why I don't like you. And then you did it to two other women. So you didn't learn your lesson. So you've continued on that path, which means you're a POS in my book.
And still has hit after hit on the charts.
Hit after hit after hit after hit.
Well, what was it Steve said about Hogan?
Just that, okay, you don't like him because you don't like his politics. No.
Oh my gosh.
I said yesterday, I mentioned this in my Hogan rant yesterday. There's so many lies that Hogan has told and been called out on. Like, one of my favorites, I was wrestling 400 days a year. Really? No idea. You wrestled so much, you added 35 days to the calendar. That is impressive.
Oh, my gosh. Charlene said her fiancé Joe built Hulk Hogan's fence in Florida because her That's what he does. He builds fences.
Hogan told
That's
a story in
hilarious.
2012. I used to be a session musician before I was a wrestler. Played bass guitar with big pals Lars Ulrich, and he asked me if I wanted to play bass with Metallica, but it just didn't work out.
Oh my
Right.
No ish, it didn't work out.
Come on.
Come on.
Okay, so your thing is, he has crossed the line for you. You're done with Hulk Hogan.
I'm done because of the lies, the racial slurs, and I know there are people that go, everybody's made racial slurs. I get that. Not everybody has, but I get it. But what really did it in for me for Hogan had nothing to do with him showing up at any convention, had nothing to do with him bankrupting a tabloid over the fact that his sex tape came out.
Well, Richard Teal. Or is that his name? Teal? Robert Teal? What's his name?
Gawker, whatever the Gawker guy, yeah.
Yeah,
Teal.
Teal is the one who bankrupted Gawker.
Yeah. So those
Right?
No, Hogan won
Hogan-
that settlement for like $115 million, and they were like, "Dude, and they settled for 30, but it killed it." Which I don't have a problem with that. What I have a problem with, and there is video evidence of this back in the Hogan Knows Best days, or shortly after that show ended, when his son Nick Hogan was driving too fast and damn near killed his best friend. There's video evidence of him and their conversation with Nick in jail. And I get it. Your son is in jail. You're worried about your kid. I understand that part. But Hogan goes on this rant about how, well, John's where he is because, he didn't live the kind of right lifestyle and God was watching. No, you POS. John is where he is because your son was a douchebag, drove too fast, and damn near killed him. And now you're upset because that family wants restitution from you for something your son did. So that's where my problem with Hogan started. And then you start piling on the lies from there. Nothing to do with political affiliation whatsoever. So that's just an example. What celebrity has finally got to the point where you're like, dude, I wouldn't cross the street to shake your hand.
So passionate, Kelly.
So anyway, it's 2 days in a row.
My standards aren't so high in dropping a celeb. The worst character quality to me, I mean, outside of anything criminal, a horrid character quality in my eyes is arrogance. Now, I do love a confident person, but arrogance is intolerable for me. I have had enough of Jennifer Lopez. I cannot bear the sight of her anymore.
For sure.
I used to absolutely love her. Dancer, singer, actor. I mean, I thought I always had a great opinion of her talent and all that. But after she put out her little sort of docudrama type dramatization of her love story with Ben Affleck on Netflix to support her album, This Is Me Now, it was so bad and so silly and stupid, and it really opened the floodgates of people's opinions of her on TikTok. And the amount of people that she has had negative interactions with is astounding. And she is one of those, and I mean, by multiple accounts, one of those don't give me direct eye contact people. I can't bear that kind of person. I'm done with you. You and I are through. Our relationship's over.
You broke up.
Yep. Broke up with J-Lo.
Done.
Yep.
You mentioned a couple people that are it's kind of difficult for me. One is Kevin Spacey. I was a huge fan of his, and talking about American Beauty, K-Pax, House of Cards. I mean, the guy is a phenomenal actor, and all this stuff comes out, but again, he hasn't been found guilty of anything, and his career was completely destroyed,
gone.
And I'm like, okay. So what did anything really happen? I mean, we don't even know, and we may never know.
Wait, are you saying you dropped him? Are you?
I'm saying it was hard. It was hard for me to, it's like, well, I can't be a fan anymore, right? And the same thing with Marilyn Manson. I was just an enormous fan of Manson, and then we hear all these stories, but again, hasn't been found guilty of anything yet. We do know, and I always forget her name. The one girl, the main girl that was in the video, claimed he raped her during the video.
Oh, yeah. What's her name?
Evan Rachel Wood?
Yes, Evan Rachel Wood. But we do know for a fact that there was another girl who came forward that we found out that Evan Rachel Wood convinced to lie.
Okay,
about
but we're
Manson.
not looking to prove that people didn't do anything. We're looking for some celebrity you dropped over their behavior.
It's like
So you're saying nobody? There's no celebrity.
Well, I'm just saying, it's hard for me to drop them or not drop them. I don't know how I should feel. I still love the music.
I'm dumping someone over being arrogant.
I understand
that's how, that's the low threshold here of dumping somebody.
Yes, but here's why I say it's difficult, because so Manson comes to town, right? He's got a concert. I want to go, but should I? Am I a dirtbag if I go and support Marilyn Manson? It's hard, man, because he hasn't been found guilty of anything, so I don't know.
I see what you're saying. I do, because you like to believe that you're innocent until proven guilty, even though it seems now it's kind of reversed where you're guilty until proven innocent. See, I understand the need for second chances. I get that, but I also have a big thing with me is character and how you handle things. When Chris Brown went through his thing, I had a mishap. Nah, dude, that's not a mishap. And it's not a mishap when you do it 2 more times and you're not apologetic about it. And some of that's the stuff that kind of bothers me when you're not showing remorse. I mean, again, Ivan Moody takes a lot of crap, but Ivan Moody will go, hey man, I'm trying to do better. I messed up.
I mean, he was an addict.
I'm
an
addict,
clean.
And believe me, I understand the addict side of that.
Yes. Yeah, that happens to a lot of people.
But anyway, want to know what you think, Blitz Nation? 99700 or 821-9970. Go ahead, Rick.
I was just going to say, Kelly Nikki Newland said, yes on J-Lo, so over.
A lot of people.
You guys are hanging me out to dry. I dropped J-Lo over being arrogant, and you guys are like, whoa, we really can't. Do we know that anybody's innocent or guilty? Have you ever dropped someone stone cold done with them? That's what I want to know.
Fair enough.
Not whether somebody's maybe guilty or innocent.
I hear you. Okay.
It's a feeling.
Well, no, the question,
it is a hard feeling. I'm done with J-Lo.
It didn't have to be a crime. The question was, what was it about them that you dropped them? For you, it was arrogance. For me, it was domestic violence.
And I'm wondering if I'm supposed to.
We all have questions in life. Monster Star Set. We'll see those guys next week at Kemba. Looking forward to that on the Blitz. It is 8:54 with Thick, Kelly, and Lewis. We're talking about what celebrity has finally you got to the point where you're just over them. For Kelly, it's J-Lo because of her attitude. Rick struggles with the Marilyn Manson thing because he hasn't been proven guilty of any of that stuff yet. I just brought up Hulk Hogan because he was in town yesterday, and apparently there was something in Cleveland last night where a beer was thrown into the crowd. He said it was the guys on the side of the stage, but he was, whatever. It's just... I told you my reasons. I don't need to go through that rant anymore. Hannah said, F Chris Brown. He's the lowest of a low, man. I was literally DJing at a bar one night, and a girl came up and asked me to play Chris Brown. And I'm like, he's not the best. And then her exact words were, he can beat the ish out of me anytime he wants. And I said to her, you should go home, sit in your bathroom, look at yourself in the mirror, and rethink your life, if that's what you're thinking.
Alan says he got into an altercation with comedian D. Ray Davis. So he said he's very arrogant.
Oh, my gosh. I wonder, I've heard from some of them talk about it, but Browns fans with Deshaun Watson, if he's tearing it up every week and you guys are winning game after game, do you care?
We were talking about this off the air earlier. The Deshaun for me, with all that stuff that went down, passed the optics test. There was too much going on there. I think Deshaun Watson was a legit punishment. Ray Rice, the second time they punished him, was legit, because after you saw the video of him dragging his girlfriend by the hair through the elevator after he knocked her out, and
that was ugly, man.
The other, of all the punishments the NFL has dished out, those are the few that I feel like they have got right. The verdict's still out on how well Bill Cosby does with the Browns this year, but we'll see.
There's another one, Bill Cosby.
Cosby's on that list. A couple of people have said, Tristan from Mansfield said, I met Ivan a few times. Dude's honestly nice and wholesome. Just keep him away from the booze. Yeah. Right? Pretty much.
Kelsey Mess said, Leo DiCaprio, he's gross.
Okay. Kelly, Jennifer said sorry. She can't stand Britney Spears.
Yeah, that's fine. You guys are all allowed your feelings. I'll allow it.
Michael was on the collage that we posted. Palamo said, for Michael Jackson, after seeing the child sexual abuse thing. Yeah, for a lot of people, when he did that interview where he told the guy straight up, whatever the interviewer was, where he's like, it's the greatest thing you can do is share your bed with a child. Everybody was like, whoa, hey.
Did you mean Paloma?
Paloma. Did I say? Yeah, I'm sorry.
Jesse said Amber Heard, she pooped on a pillow. I think it was just in the bed, wasn't it, Jesse?
Yeah. Same thing, though. You take a dump where I sleep.
Yeah, I guess I'm being nitpicky there.
That's good enough.
Oh, my gosh. It was more than 10 years ago. We had Lewis, you've never met Nuber. He did middays here at the Blitz for a long time. But this person said, I stopped listening to Godsmack because the singer was rude to Nuber during an interview.
Oh, wow.
Wow. But that's what it is. If it's one thing, it's just a personal thing. If there's something about them you don't like, you don't have to support them.
Yeah, I figured that we just got Paloma mention Michael Jackson. That had to be.
Sooner or later.
That was definitely a big one. Okay, Jason just texted in, I despise Deshaun Watson because he's a sexual predator. I'm assuming Jason is a Browns fan. Maybe not.
Maybe not. We'll see.
Yeah, but you can continue to post on the Facebook page?
Yeah, it's up there. You can play with that for a while if you are inclined to do so.
And now, all right, I'm listening. 3 things you need to know before you go.
How about this right before college starts? An 18-wheeler lost part of its giant load of beer in Oxford, Mississippi yesterday, and that is a college town, baby. That is University of Mississippi. Kids are all coming back to campus this week. Class starts Monday. But police had to post on X there in Oxford, Mississippi that, thank you, but we do not need any help with cleanup. Cases and cases of beer spilled out of the truck, including Modelo, Busch, Corona, Michelob Ultra, and Bud Light. And not only were there full cases, loose bottles and cans broke out. It was quite a scene yesterday near the University of Mississippi. Well, a 29-year-old Nebraska man has pleaded no contest to 4 counts of making a terroristic threat during a 2022 active shooter drill that he was hired to perform. So this guy named John Channels owns a security company, and he was hired by Omaha Catholic Charities to test its workers' preparedness for a mass shooting event, okay? Problem is, old John took it a little too far. First of all, he told a big lie, and that was, number 1 lie was that he'd done this before. He knew what he was doing. Number 2 was that he actually would have real police officers present during the drill. Neither of those things was true. Instead, what he did was storm the workplace of Omaha Catholic Charities with a black hoodie, a mask, and firing blanks from a semi-automatic handgun. Employees had no idea this was a drill. They started running for their lives. They called 911 hysterical. Apparently, they were hopping over staged victims covered in fake blood who looked dead. So this guy is a real nut job when he set up this, active shooter drill. Police showed up with guns drawn, man. Guns drawn. When finally Omaha Catholic Charities and this supposed professional informed them what was happening. Anyway, this guy pleaded no contest yesterday. He's going to be sentenced at the end of October and will likely serve prison because, he also has this little child sex case that he's dealing with on the side. So this guy's a real piece of work. All right, let me get to the snake in the toilet story. I know it's what you're all waiting for. A man in Thailand went to the bathroom, sat down on a toilet, and was immediately bitten in the scrotum by a 12-foot python. It wasn't a bite and release either. The man says he jumped up and that bad boy was still hanging on for dear life. So he grabbed the toilet brush and just whacked the crap out of this snake until it let go.
Oh my God.
Blood everywhere. He says he had to get scrotum stitches.
Oh wow.
Do you believe it?
Oh,
scrotum
yeah.
stitches. How bad would that hurt?
Ooh.
Man. Anyway, he's doing fine now, but he's just like, hey, look in the toilet before you sit down, okay? Especially if you're in Thailand. And those are your 3 things.
Okay, I'm due to ritualistically shave my scrotum, but the manscaper is broke, and I'm afraid to do it with anything else because, I couldn't even imagine stitches. Any guy will tell you, it doesn't take much to injure or to feel pain there.
Right.
No. I mean, even the thought of contact, I think, brings a feeling of dizziness and
Absolutely.
faith. Yeah.
Right now, I am a little queasy.
Yeah.
And I didn't experience the python in the toilet. Mm-mm. Yeah, no. Hard pass on that one.
Lord willing, you never will.
There's probably somebody that would wish that on me. I hope you find a snake in the toilet and it bites you in the scrotum.